What's up guys, it's Mike and welcome back to Intensity Week. In this video, we're gonna talk about the 3 mistakes that guys are making that's causing their intensity to be too low in their workouts and causing them not to get enough muscle gains. The reason why intensity is so important, intensity is basically the amount of energy that you put into your workout. So let's say if you have this much energy in your workout, or if you have this much energy and you used this much energy, then you have very high intensity in your workouts. It's not about how much weight you're lifting or anything else. It's about exerting 100% of all the energy that you got in every single workout you do. The reason why it's so important is because a lot of guys don't know how to give 100% of all of their energy. They may only do 50%, they may only do 70%, and so a lot of the other factors in working out isn't as important, like the type of exercise you're using, techniques, form, and all this stuff like that. So that's why intensity is so important, and we're gonna cover a very common 3 mistakes that a lot of the guys making. That I personally probably made all 3 of these, which is why I'm giving them to you now. Mistake number 1, when you're working out, as you become fatigued, you will make your exercises easier to do. Make your repetitions easier, and that's a huge mistake. And let me tell you what I mean. Pretend these are like big ass dumbbells, right? Not these little bitchy 15 pounds dumbbells. So let's say you're doing like a chest press, right? Or a shoulder press. So you come up and down. So your first sets, you're knocking out, good full range motion, and doing everything. But as you get fatigued, let's say you're doing 10 reps, by the time you get to your 7th rep, a lot of times you'll realize that because it's becoming harder, you will go half. You will make it to where it's easier for you to do that repetition. A lot of times, for example, in a shoulder press, somebody might do something like this. Oh, and they don't even go all the way up and they come back down, right? Or they may do something like this and just kind of use momentum. So that's a huge mistake, because the reason why you're working out is so this way you can get intense, fatigue your muscles all the way, not at the point of fatigueness, make it easier so this way you don't get fatigued. So guys, does that make sense? So what you want to do instead is, as you get to the end of your set, you want to make sure that you give it everything you got and actually make the exercise harder. One of the tips I actually suggest is, instead of just waiting until the end, make sure that every single repetition you hold for about 1.5 seconds at the contraction to where your muscles are lengthened. So this is what I mean by lengthened muscles. So if you look at a bicep, this is a shortened bicep, this is a lengthened bicep. On the chest, this is a shortened chest, and this is a lengthened chest, right? Shoulder press, same thing. If you turn around right here, this is shortened and this is lengthened. So on the lengthened position, you want to make sure you want to hold it there for about 1.5 seconds or so, because that is one of the hardest part of the exercise, is lengthening the muscles, a negative, and that's where most people will cheat in order to make it easier for themselves. So to do the opposite, make sure to hold it for about 1.5 seconds. So if you're doing, let's say, a bench press, right? Coming down right here, you see a lot of guys do this. Bounce up, bounce up. Why did they do that? I know I did it before, so I'm not talking shit, you know? I've done it before too. Why do you do that? Well, because it's easier that way, because at this point, it's hard, right? So you may do this in the beginning, right? But once you get to that 7th, 8th set, and that 7th to 8th rep, right? You're trying to do more repetitions. It don't matter about the amount of repetitions you do. It only matters how much stress, how much fatigueness you're putting on that muscle. So last thing you want to do is cheat your sets at the end. So if you're doing a bench press, come down, 1, 2, boom. 1, 2, boom. 1, 2, boom. 1, 2, boom. Same thing for you, let's say you're doing a bicep curl, right? Same thing. Come up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Instead of people doing, you know, just swing, not even get to the bottom. This way you can make sure you fatigue the muscle and your intensity will be high the entire time of your workout, so you can get a lot more muscle gains. Tip number 2 is fully exhausting your muscles. So if you follow tip number 1, that's gonna kick your butt already. Here's another tip. To make sure you fully exhaust your muscles. Well, why is that important? Again, intensity is about using all of the energy that you got. And the way they use all of the energy that you got is by fully exhausting your muscles. If you exhaust your muscles all the way, you ain't got nothing left. So one of the ways to make sure that you fully exhaust your muscles is doing drop sets at the end of every single exercise. A lot of people go, well, what about doing failure sets? You know what, failure sets are really good, but drop sets will ensure that not only are you failing at this weight, but then you drop to a lighter weight and then you're failing at this weight. You drop to a lighter weight and you're feeling at that weight. You can do at least 3 drops. Let's say you're doing a bicep curl, right? So you're doing 4 sets. At the 4th set, if you're grabbing whatever weight it is, do the same amount of repetitions, everything you got. Once you hit failure, grab a lighter weight, do the same thing. I usually recommend dropping about 10 to about 15 pounds, give or take, okay? Up to about 20 pounds depending on the type of lift. But kind of work with it yourself and find which one's more comfortable for you. The whole idea is to make sure you drop, fully exhaust yourself to where you can't do any more repetition with a lighter weight, drop again, same thing. Keep dropping at least 3 drops. That's gonna make sure you keep the intensity super high, and that when you leave the gym, when you're done working out at home, you've given everything you got and you ain't got shit left. That is an awesome workout. That is high intensity. Tip number 3, shorten your rest periods. Think about why you have long rest periods. I know why I have long rest periods before. Because I want to fully recover my strength so I can do this weight for whatever reps. Let's say, for example, you're bench pressing 200 pounds and you do 200 pounds for 10 reps. But in order to do that, you have to rest, let's say 2.5 minutes. So imagine this. Imagine you have 4 sets, right? And you're doing 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps. You rest, rest 2.5 minutes, rest 2.5 minutes, rest 2.5 minutes. So then you're doing 40 reps. So what I suggest is shortening your rest periods to where you're only resting about 60 seconds between sets at the most. You can even shorten it a little more than that. So here's why. When you shorten your rest periods, it's a lot more intense for you to go ahead and do that set because you didn't fully recover, your heart rate is still high, and the intensity is up. But what's gonna happen, for most people will think about this, they will go, well, if I rest that short, I won't be able to get the 10 reps here and the 10 reps here and the 10 reps here and the 10 reps here. I will only be able to get, let's say, 10 reps, 5 reps, 5 reps, 5 reps. Why? Because I didn't have enough time to fully recover. Yes, I know. I did the same thing. This is what you do. Because you're saving time by resting shorter instead of sitting around doing nothing, all you have to do is increase the volume. Because you're not going lighter and you're not doing less repetitions at 200 pounds. Example again, remember, 10 reps, 10, 10, 10. That's 40 repetitions at 200 pounds. Now your goal is to still get 40 repetitions at 200 pounds, for example, but you're resting under 60 seconds per set. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna take you more than 4 sets. It may take you 8 sets. It may take you 7 sets. But imagine doing 7 sets of 200 pounds and getting 40 repetitions in, resting a short period. Now your workout is a lot more intense. You just did a lot more volume and demanded a lot more from your body. Make sure they used up 100% everything you got on your energy, and you got more volume in on the same amount of time, because you're not increasing the amount of time that you're working out. You're actually increasing more volume, getting more work done in the same amount of time, thus increasing the intensity. So it's best of both worlds. Remember, you're not lightening the weight. You're still going heavy, you're still tearing up those muscles, and you're still doing the 40 reps at 200 pounds. The only thing is now you did a lot more volume because now you're doing 7 sets, now you're doing more cardiovascular work, now you're pushing the intensity to the max. Those 3 things are gonna really make sure that you give it everything you got in every single workout and that your intensity is through the roof. Thanks for watching, guys. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.